Lasagna alla bolognese, a dish that absolutely has to be on the table for your Sunday dinner. It's eaten all over Italy, but I've been told that this is how it's made in Bologna. Let's start with the mirepoix with a nice sweet pork belly. We're going to chop it very, very finely. I'm using a stretched sweet pork belly, but you can also use the rolled kind. The important thing is that it's not smoked. That's absolutely forbidden. And this delicious mince is going to act as the base of our mirepoix. Let's head to the stove. We're going to pour in a generous splash of olive oil. Add in the pork belly. Let it dissolve nice and slowly. I'm using a saucepan with a double bottom. We're going to have to cook our bolognese for multiple hours, so we need to let it cook slowly, but at a constant temperature. Now we can add in the celery, carrots, and onion. I recommend you chop them up very, very finely, okay? Keep an eye on the temperature at this point. The onion mustn't be allowed to burn. So, while constantly keeping it at a medium-low heat, we're going to stir it from time to time. By doing this, our mirepoix will be perfect. Now let's turn up the heat a little bit because we have to brown our ground beef. I've decided to use only ground beef, but feel free to go for a mix of beef and pork, which is the way it used to be done in the old days. We're going to caress it nice and gently, right? We're going to brown up all the meat, make it sizzle. This is going to take us about 10 minutes. You need patience for bolognese, okay? You need patience. Our sauce is sizzling away nicely. Listen to how it sings. When there is no more liquid left at the bottom of the saucepan, we can simmer it with the wine. We've chosen red wine, but you can also use white. All that matters is that it's good. This is the perfect opportunity for us to deglaze the bottom. All the different flavors will blend together. The smell of the alcohol has evaporated. We're going to add tomato paste, tomato puree, and mix it up. And now the liquid part, which is going to cover our sauce, vegetable broth. If you prefer, you can always use a meat broth instead, as long as it's not salty. Now our bolognese is about to set off on a long journey. Cook it for 2 hours on a medium-low heat. But remember to season it with salt and pepper halfway through cooking. Every Italian who loves cooking is convinced that they have the perfect recipe for bolognese and for lasagna alla bolognese. Here at Giallo Zafferano, we've aimed to combine all the important information together to create this recipe. To do this, we've used the recipe on file, our own experience in the kitchen, and most importantly, your invaluable advice, and our grandma's advice too. It's been 2 hours. Our bolognese is ready. This is exactly the consistency we're looking for. At this point, some people like to add milk at the end of the cooking. We're not going to do that. It's completely optional. Turn off the heat and put the bolognese to one side. And now we're going to prepare the fresh pasta, which will be green. So let's start with the spinach. Straight into the saucepan, add a little bit of water, cover with the lid, and we'll let it wilt slowly. It will take about 5 to 6 minutes. Remove the lid, and we're going to let our wilted spinach drain off in a sieve, squeeze it well, and leave it to cool down. The spinach has cooled down. Now put it in a mixer with blades. Add the egg and the 2 yolks. Blend the spinach and eggs together to form a lovely homogeneous mixture. This will allow it to be perfectly incorporated into the flour and semolina. The pastry board is in place. Pour on the semolina and the 00 flour. Create a well and pour the mixture with the eggs and spinach inside it. And start slowly kneading it with a fork so that I don't make a mess right from the start. Then I'm going to use a scraper to help me, like this. How relaxing is making fresh pasta? How relaxing. Put on a good record while you're making the fresh pasta. It definitely helps with the recipe. Look, it's no longer sticky. We're going to keep our pasta covered with film and let it rest for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, I'll prepare the bechamel. Put in the butter, allow it to melt. The butter is sizzling. Let's add the flour, brown our roux. Now I can pour in the hot milk in 3 batches. This is more convenient for managing the consistency of our bechamel. This also has to be pampered while it's being made to prevent any lumps from forming. Here's the bechamel that we're going to season with salt and the essential nutmeg. Keep stirring the bechamel over a medium heat until you get a nice creamy consistency. The bechamel is lovely and silky, and it's not too tight, which we'll need so that it can envelop our lasagna during cooking, and I'll keep it to one side covered with film. Now that the pasta has rested, I can roll it out. Divide it into 2 parts for convenience. I'll keep the other half covered. A nice sprinkling of semolina, and I can start stretching it. Obviously, I'll start from the widest thickness. Our pasta's ready. It's beautiful, green, textured, and just 0.5 millimeter thick. Time to cut it. When it cooks, it tends to expand a little. So to make sure it fits just right, we're going to trim it down to be approximately 1 centimeter smaller than the size of the baking sheet. Let's be precise, okay? Lasagna has to not only taste good, but look good. And now we'll boil the sheets for a few moments. Get some lightly salted water gently simmering and drop in the first one. After 30 to 40 seconds, drain off the excess water and leave it to rest on a cloth. Keep doing this with all the sheets and leave them to rest, but not on top of each other. We finally have everything we're going to need in order to make our lasagna. Let's start with a thin layer of bechamel and a little bit of the bolognese. Spread it out well. And we'll start on the first layer, our lasagna sheet, then the bechamel, our bolognese. Spread it out to every corner, okay? A generous helping of grated Parmesan cheese. Any lasagna worthy of the name requires at least 6 layers. We've now reached the last sheet where I'm just going to add the bolognese. And plenty of it. Guys, look at all those beautiful layers. Finish off with some grated Parmesan and little pieces of butter. Now we can bake it. I'm going to bake it in a conventional oven at 170 degrees, and our lasagna will cook for 40 minutes. Guys, just smell that. It's so beautiful. Now I'm going to cut it. So well deserved. Wow. It's making me emotional how good it is. I highly recommend you make it yourself.
Oh. Joe?